Welcome back. A tornado warning just issued. Southeast Bexar County, just east of downtown. It was the storm off the top of the show that I was showing you moving into China Grove. And literally saying that these are the cells we're watching. These are the ones that have been powering up, and these are the ones that are dropping these small EF0, EF1 tornadoes. Just like the one this morning, just like the funnel cloud we saw spotted at 410 in Blanco last night around 7 p.m. So let's get into this one. This is again East Bexar County. We're going to zoom in near China Grove, and you can see St. Hedwig. So it looks as though the radar data is giving us the western side of this polygon, and you can see that the rain's going to be very heavy over China Grove, but the polygon extends all the way near St. Hedwig, and then this is going to be Guadalupe County line right here. And notice 1604. Again, this is Highway 87, and that's where the heaviest rain is. We're not seeing a distinct area of rotation or what we look at for a hook echo with this, but it's certainly giving us signs of rotation. So let me show you why. Let's go to a just now image and get in here close and show you that it's going to be on this backside east of Hilltop that we're going to be most concerned. Right into this spot right here is where we would expect to see any kind of rotation that's indicating the sign of a tornado. So if we go over to Hilltop and look at the velocity, and we're looking for the gate-to-gate shear, and that arrow's pointing right at it. It's where we match up the winds moving towards the radar site to the red moving away from the radar site. That's indicating the rotation, and that gate-to-gate shear just east of Hilltop, north of Highway 181. Here's Homewood Lane. Give you a few parameters. You'll notice there's a street at the top of our screen, and that's New Sulphur Springs Road. So if you know this area well, you'll know now Boltville is to the north of this cell, and this, again, tornadic rotation. It's right there on that green spot. So let me save this and show you another product. This is our correlation coefficient. This gives us an idea as to what kind of debris might be airborne. See, the radar has the technology to distinguish between liquid and non-liquid. And that's exactly what we saw this morning with the tornado over the rim. You saw a distinct area right embedded in the rainfall that was not red or pink, and that was obviously where the tornado was picking up debris. And it could have been parts of the roof of Oasis Apartments. It was part of the shingles that flew off Bass Pro Shop, part of the cement facade of Palladium Theater that was flying. That's all going to show up as non-liquid. So let's move in here close to where we were looking. There's Boltville. Okay, there's a little bit of debris in the air, okay? So you see these little yellows right in here? This is what I'm talking about, right in this. This can definitely be airborne debris because this is where the vortex was spotted, where the gate-to-gate shear was coming together. And this debris detector giving us the yellows is, again, a slight chance. Now, if you go into the blues, it's distinct. If you go into the blues, you know for sure. But this could be just that wind that's, again, generating an amount of debris that could go with, I'm talking about limbs and just different things from trees that could be airborne and non-liquid. So again, where we are, again, Hilltop, just north of 181. Here's Boltville. We're just outside 410 and inside 1604. Eastern Bexar County. If you're not familiar with where we are, we're again not too far from the Frost Bank Center and some spots just off to the east. Back to the radar, and I'll show you that this tornado warning in effect until 4:45, so another 30 minutes. Or if the rotation does diminish, does deteriorate, then it will be canceled. But right now, just north of Calaveras Lake, you can see right there, that's Calaveras Lake. On the screen there's Elmendorf, and you can see that little bit of a wedge right in here, that little curl. That's going to indicate right there that we do have that rotation picking up, because when you're looking at reflectivity, which is this product right here showing us the rainfall, what the radar is going to do is look at that rain, look at that liquid, and it can detect if there's a spin on it, if that water's being whipped around within the top of that thunderstorm. This is the display on radar that depicts that. Notice the lightning? This is always a good reminder. You don't need the light, you don't need the rain for the lightning. I mean, this is well beyond where that cell is dumping the heaviest rainfall. And we've got lightning showing up right near 1604 at Highway 87. And this is why you say when thunder roars, get indoors. If you can hear thunder, lightning can strike where you're standing. It does not have to be raining. Cloud to cloud lightning can travel and can, of course, turn to cloud to ground real quick and be very dangerous. So again, Calaveras Lake, Elmendorf, 181. We're looking at rotation in this cell that's now south of China Grove. I want to get some specifics on this and now begin to track this, put a little more real estate on the map, and we're going to track it right where that hook is showing up. So first off, what do we have on the parameters? Number one, tornado warning is radar indicated rotation. Very important. That means that, again, it's radar indicated. Everything that we're looking at is going to be displayed. It's not going to be someone with a trained eye saying, I see a funnel cloud, I've got a tornado on the ground. That used to be the case. We wouldn't see tornado warnings unless a qualified set of eyes put eyes on it. This storm is near Calaveras Lake, about 7 miles east of Stinson Municipal Airport, and it's moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. So putting in that parameter, and then we can do a cone and show you what we have on impact and areas that should be affected here shortly. Again, this is the spot northeast at 20, and we'll go in here and do a cone forecast and track this northeast. So right along the polygon, believing it would come together and stay together as it moves through this area, moving northeast right across Highway 181. We're going to East Central Heritage Middle School at 423, East Central Stadium 428. Then at 438, Fellowship Berean Bible Church, 441, Atkins, Texas. Then at 441 as well, River of Life Christian Fellowship, Annunciation School at 449. If it's holding together, this wouldn't be that it's a tornado this entire time. This would definitely be the storm. But I'm tracking because, remember, it could be some heavy rain you're experiencing already, especially some of the light rain. That's going to be near East Central. And, the rainfall intensifying as you get up towards 1604. But I always want to track the hook. I always want to track where that rotation is so that you have an idea where that polygon is going to be and how it's going to move northeast. So again, 423 East Central Heritage Middle School, East Central Stadium at 428 as it moves across Highway 181. If you are in this blue box, if you are familiar with this area of eastern Bexar County, again, here's downtown, Alamo Heights, and then we're just east of that area. China Grove, Elmendorf, heading out towards St. Hedwig. If you're in this polygon area, in this blue box, this is the time to enact your safety plan. It's the time to be on the lowest level of your dwelling. It's the time to be in a room that is surrounded by interior walls. On the other side of that wall, you're still inside. You want to be away from windows. If you're out and you're just hearing this, of course, you've got to stay put, you've got to find shelter, you've got to stay safe for at least the next 15 to 20 minutes. Most typical tornadoes, like the one we saw this morning, 8 to 9 minutes, maybe up to 10 minutes in its longevity. They don't last very long on average. That's not to say every storm is done in 10 minutes, but on average, it's 8 to 10 minutes. And notice again that this is a pretty good size polygon, and it's a warning that's in effect until 4:45. So again, let's show you the entire area. We can do this in another track formation that gives you more of a squall line look and covers a bit more area. Right into here, again, southern portion of the storm, what we call the rear flank downdraft. And now this whole area that is the possible rotation. Okay, and then we're going to take a look at those other factors in a moment. So East Central Middle School. East Central Heritage Middle School at 4:22 in the next 2 to 3 minutes. And that's plenty of time to get into a safe room away from windows, a room that's surrounded by interior walls. And I want to be praying for these people in the path of this storm, that Lord God, your sovereignty would be here, that you, Lord, would protect everyone in the path of this storm, that you would give wisdom and clarity for families to seek shelter, that these plans would enact now, that people would reach out to those people in this affected area to give them the warning they need. In your holy name, protect us, Lord. This is East Bexar County. Notice where Kirby is. Notice where St. Hedwig is. And I really feel it kind of splits the difference with those being the uprights. It'll go right across 1604. This is, again, just south of Highway 87, just north of 181. Notice how it'll drop off now. Zool is showing up at 445, China Grove at 425, and that's only 4 minutes from now. But this warning in effect until 445 as we expect this storm to hold together. When you're east of downtown, you've got plenty of moisture and energy. You've got a lot more Gulf moisture to work with, and this will stay very heavy rain. But this tornadic thunderstorm, again, these tropical thunderstorms that are spinning up small tornadoes. You know, when we have the concern of tropical storms or even hurricanes and the squall lines come inland, almost every time there will be a tornado watch issued, because as those squall lines move on shore, these kind of tropical storms and will develop and produce small EF0, EF1 tornadoes. Word in from my producer is that we have a live camera shot of this affected area. We're looking over Calaveras Lake. You can see the rain shaft there right of the exhaust stacks of the CPS power plant. That's what you're looking at on the left. That's Calaveras Lake, and that's essentially Elmendorf in your foreground. So those are the rain shafts, and that is a pretty significant wall cloud. So you want to be looking for that formation, that V formation that drops out of these clouds. Great camera view, whoever lined this up. Thank you. This is our tower cam, and excellent, excellent. To zoom out a little bit, give you a look at this anvil-shaped thunderstorm. This is a mature mesocyclone storm that can produce, with little to no warning, a rear flank downdraft tornado. Sometimes it's, again, in most often cases, the backside of the storm that'll produce that vortex, and you see it drop right out of the sky. It'll first be a funnel cloud. If you saw a lot of the video we've been showing you of what happened at I-10 at the rim this morning, you'll see that swirl. You'll see that vortex of cloud really take shape slowly but surely, and then it can completely close off and become a wedge tornado and have that extreme inflow, that what we call suck zone, where everything around it gets sucked up into it and stays airborne within that vortex. I'm not seeing anything as we kind of pan across this low deck wall cloud, and notice that you can see what are called scud clouds. That's going to be a lot of what's dropping out of that main wall cloud, and then that's the rain shaft right there at 12 o'clock. That's going to be the rain shaft of very heavy rain. And then we're working towards the rear flank, right in there on the right side of your screen. And that's where we're going to watch if any kind of funnel would drop out of that region. That would be the spot. So right now there's rotation in the upper levels. That's what's always great about the technology that we have, is that we can spot the rotation within the thunderstorm's top dynamic, and then if it again is going to drop out of the storm or drop out of that cloud, you'll see it in a picture like this. So now when we can combine these two and look at the picture live, look at the radar screen, and you can tell that, again, we're looking now at rotation that's at the top of the storm instead of necessarily dropping out. So we don't have, this is a radar indicated rotation, we don't have a tornado on the ground.